Hey everybody, welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gentleman. I'm Topher. I started this channel because I'm a fan of craft beer, but I'm also on a limited budget. And I wanted to demonstrate it was possible to enjoy good quality beers without having to break the bank, so I'm always looking for the best deals. And I think I found a pretty good one on today's selection. It's a 12-ounce can for which I paid $2.49 from my friends at Belmont Station, which is located at 4500 Southeast Stark here in Portland, Oregon. Great place, great prices, great guys. Every beer is priced. Love it, love it, love it. So, today's selection is the Leota Mae IPA from Bale Brewing Company. Went to their website, did a little investigating. Going to give you a real quick description of how this beer got its name and who Leota was. Our story began in 1932 when our great-grandparents planted hops in the Yakima Valley. The matriarch of our family, Leota Mae, worked sunrise to sunset cultivating the land we still farm today. This beer pays tribute to our family's legacy and the woman who started it all. Cheers, Leota Mae. Here's your IPA. This has a 6.2 ABV. Typically, American IPAs come in between 5.5 and 7.5% on the ABV scale. Has, let's see, is it 50 IBUs. Typically, an IPA comes in between 40 and 70 on the IBU scale. This beer is actually 10 months old, which is kind of old for an IPA. I take partial responsibility for that. I've been buying craft beers for over 15 years now. It didn't occur to me to check the date as I'm buying it, but like I said, I take partial responsibility for it. Partial. This is their fourth year-round available beer. It has the hop profile is Simcoe and Laurel, and it says that it has late additions of Yukonat and Mosaic. So I'm guessing that they dry hop with the Yukonat and Mosaic. The brewery itself was started in 2013, and it is in Yakima, Washington, which is, let me check here, I did my homework, I did 200 miles northeast of Portland. Real quick, amongst the reviewing community, 5 of my friends have given this beer on Untappd a cumulative score of 4.15. 8,043 of us have given it a cumulative score of 3.84. Beer Advocate has had 77 rankings with an average score of 4.1, with an overall score of 90, which is on their scale is outstanding. So, this comes with pretty high marks, I gotta say. If you can log over 8,000 check-ins from everybody across Untappd and still have a greater than 3.8 score, I think that speaks well of it. 5 of my friends, as I said, cumulatively have given it a 4.15. So, I don't see any reason to keep talking anymore. I mean, it's an IPA. Love them, but they're not. There's certainly an abundance of them on the market. One thing I did want to make mention that I saw on the website that I liked a lot, and I'm going to harken on to this again and again, is that on the website it refers to this beer and it says this is a heavily hopped and unfiltered beer. Sediment may be present, which, as I was mentioning in the last video, sediment suggests to me that I've got a microbrewer on my hands and not some faux craft brewer who's filtering it. So, it's already alcohol. You don't have to filter it, guys. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying that I'm completely against filtering all beers. I'm not. Some beers do require it, but the beauty of a microbrewing is that you're not trying to filter it. They're not trying to accommodate every palate. I'm going to have to describe that as definitely medium-high carbonation. There are lots of tiny little bubbles coming up. That is not entirely opaque, but it's not, I wouldn't call it hazy either. I'm going to describe this as a very brassy color. Yeah, it's
it's got an odd color in the counter.
Thanks, honey. Nancy's going to throw her 2 cents worth in. I'm not seeing much in the way of lacing, but at a 6.2, I believe? Yes, 6.2 ABV. That's not altogether surprising either. Let's give this a quick beard wipe, see what I can encounter. I did pick up a lot of pineapple just then. Let me put my schnoz in directly, see what else I can find. Well, it was a big hop profile, but very pineapple-y. Sometimes the hops can be piney, sometimes they can be citrusy. What I'm smelling very specifically right now is pineapple, which is kind of funny because it's almost reminiscent of the last IPA that we had, which was the Silver Moon Maui Wowie, which is I would have described as a pineapple beer. Well, I think it's time to quit yapping my flap and get to drinking some beer, don't you? Cheers. Yeah, this this may be past its ideal age, but it's still a good beer. It's still a great IPA. It's a word that gets overused with a lot of blogs, and I'm gonna go ahead and use it right now because I think it is a right one. It's approachable. This is not an overly bitter beer, but if you are trying to get somebody who has a better palate into craft beers, this would be a good one to go to. It's a year-round availability, so it doesn't matter what time of year you're trying to get your friend into craft beers. You could pull one of these out. Just the right amount of bitterness. Really nice hop profile that's adding a bit of sweetness to the bitterness. Nice and lively. I would, in fact, like to try this when it's a little bit fresher. I would like to find some that is closer to that 90-day mark that IPAs are supposed to have. I'd also like to try this on draft. I'm going to have to look up on their website and see if they've got this on draft anywhere. Not that you could actually go anywhere and get draft for pretty much anything anymore, because you can't go anywhere right now, but when the dust settles, I'd like to maybe try this beer on draft. This is a good beer. Leota Mae sounds like a pretty swell gal, and I imagine that they wouldn't name the beer after her if it wasn't befitting of the American IPA. And I'd say that this is a very good American IPA. I've been really generous with my scores lately. I know, but I'm gonna have to give this beer. I'm going to have to give it a 4.25. It's going to get that extra 0.25 for being in a can, so it's going to get a cumulative score of 4.5 on the 5.0 Untapped scale. This is a textbook. I really can't think of any better word to describe this beer other than this is a textbook IPA. This is everything that an IPA is supposed to be. It's a little bitter. It's tempered with sweetness. It's got a flimsy head that is still fairly resilient. It's got nice, bright, sparkling carbonation still. It's neither hazy nor completely opaque. Yeah, this is exactly what the American IPA is supposed to look like. Well, guys, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out my other channel, Fat 50 and Running a Marathon. Until next time, drink good beer and don't break the bank doing it. Cheers.